Just as we've been doing, we've been putting out chapter by chapter excerpts of the book I released a few days ago, School of Prayer. And this video, we are looking at the chapter 3 of School of Prayer. In this chapter 3, we discussed a very important subject, and it's the fact that if Jesus is God, then why did he pray when he was on earth? I mean, why did he pray the time that he was here on earth? It's a question that needs to be probed into. In Philippians chapter 2 and verse 6, we come to realize that Jesus is equal with God. Jesus is not second God. Jesus is not junior God. Jesus is not assistant God. Jesus is equal with God. The Bible said that he is the image of the invisible God. So Jesus is not an assistant God, or Jesus is not a junior God. Jesus is God. The same with John chapter 1. The Bible said, in the beginning was the Word, referring to Jesus. The Bible said, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. That same chapter, the Bible said, and the Word became flesh, referring to how Jesus incarnated and dwelt among us. So he was God, he is God, and forever will be God. Now the question is, if Jesus is God, then why did he pray? In Mark chapter 1, verse 3, the Bible said that a great while before day, Jesus will wake up, go into a solitary place, and there he will pray, making us understand that he was someone who had a custom of praying. In Luke chapter 22, verse 41, we realize that Jesus will draw himself out of the disciples. The Bible said a stone cast away, and he will go there and pray. He had a custom, and consistently he was praying. There is so many evidence of the fact that he was praying. Now, if Jesus is God, why did he need to pray when he was on earth? This is a very great subject that the chapter 3 of this book, School of Prayer, looked at consistently. And I'll encourage you to get the book so that you will be able to look into it and be able to understand it very well. But in trying to give you a little understanding, you understand that if the world belongs to God, and because it belongs to God, many people assume that why do bad things happen? Why does this happen? Why does that happen? Why do pregnant women get accidents and die? Why do young people sometimes get cancer, get so many demonic diseases and die? Why? And most of the time when people ask this question, the only thing I say is that God is the CEO, but man is the manager. Let me say that again. God is the CEO and man is the manager. God may be the owner of the world, but God gave the world to man to manage it. God created the world, but he gave the dominating right. He gave the mandate to dominate to man. And so on this planet Earth, it takes man to rule, and man only rules in the affairs of men through the instrumentality of prayer. And so even God, when he became man, if he wanted to dominate the world, he needed to pray. Even God, in his incarnation as Jesus Christ, he needed to engage the weapon of prayer if he will rule in this world. Jesus understood that in this world, man is powerful. Jesus understood that in this world, man can go against you. In this world, man can work against you. In this world, man can hate you for no reason. In this world, man can sabotage you. And so he knew that as a man, in his incarnation, he needed to engage the altar of prayer, not once, not twice, but consistently. No wonder even after Jesus left the scene, the disciples cultivated it as a habit. They had a custom consistency of always praying, continually praying. In fact, there was a season that they were tempted to leave prayer to do other things. Peter conscientized them and said, we will not leave this thing and serve tables, but we'll give ourselves continually to prayer and the ministry of the word, to let you know that they understood how powerful prayer is if we want to dominate this world, if we want to impact this world, if we want to make great impact in the lives of people. And so ask yourself, if God, when he incarnated, had to pray, how about you and I believers? If God himself, when he was on earth, he needed to pray to get things done, how about you and I as believers? This is what chapter 3 is about. I explained extensively on why Jesus had to pray and why it becomes necessary that we have to pray as believers, as Christians. Sometimes many of us see prayer as something that is not important. Sometimes many of us see prayer as not really important. And it's only because we do not have a revelation of what we are called to do and how powerful human will can fight against us if we do not engage the altar of prayer. Jesus understood it, so consistently he did not play at all with the concept of prayer. He knew that his destiny could be sabotaged. He knew that his plan could be thwarted. And it's so much so that many believers today who have stayed away from the altar of prayer have done so and have gotten into shipwreck. Their destiny have gotten into something else. They've been delayed and so many things. And sometimes we do not know why it happens so. And that is why it is very important to get my book, School of Prayer. It answers every question on prayer. It will give you insight to so much on prayer. And one of the many things that it does for you is to inspire you to pray. School of Prayer will inspire you so much to pray as you get the understanding of prayer. If you want to get any of the copies, whether a hard copy or a soft copy, make sure you shoot a message to +233 240 545700, and it will be a blessing unto you. My name is Reverend Som Fianko. Thanks for watching. God bless you.